Let me ask you something. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? A friend, a partner, maybe even a colleague? The sting of betrayal cuts deeper than almost any other pain, doesn't it? It leaves you questioning everything in your judgment, your worth, your place in the world. But here's the truth. Betrayal doesn't define you. It defines them. And it is always, without fail, their downfall. You see, betrayal is born out of insecurity. The betrayer is a person who feels so small, so insignificant in their own life, that they try to pull others down to their level. They think they're playing a clever game, but the reality, they're digging their own grave. Because trust, listen closely now, trust is the cornerstone of power. Every great relationship, every thriving business, every moment of true success comes from trust. And when someone chooses to betray, they shatter that trust not just for you, but for themselves. Why? Because people don't forget, betrayal burns, it isolates the betrayer. They may win a short-term victory, but they lose the most important currency they have, credibility. Without trust, they have nothing. Betrayal comes from a deep place of insecurity, a lack of self-worth that drives someone to undermine others. Think about it, someone betray another if they were secure in themselves. It's because they're not. Their actions are a reflection of their internal struggles, their fears, and their inadequacies. They see something in you that they either envy or feel threatened by, and rather than addressing their own shortcomings, they try to bring you down. At its core, betrayal is not about you, it's about them. It's about their inability to face their own weaknesses, their failure to stand in their own truth. They believe that by betraying you, by lying, cheating, or deceiving, they're gaining an advantage or protecting themselves. But the reality is, they're showing the world how small they feel inside. Insecure people are desperate for validation, often at any cost. Betrayal becomes their shortcut to significance because they lack the courage to earn it honestly. They think, if I take from you, if I manipulate you, then I'll feel powerful. But what they fail to see is that true power never comes from tearing someone else down. It comes from building yourself up. Their betrayal reveals their inner turmoil. It's not a statement of your worth, but a glaring sign of their lack of it. They're caught in a cycle of fear of being exposed, fear of being left behind, fear of never being enough. And in trying to silence that fear, they betray. But this only amplifies their insecurity, creating a deeper void within them. Betrayal is a temporary escape for the betrayer, but it's not a solution. Their insecurity remains, festering, growing, and eventually consuming them. They're left with the consequences of their actions, a fractured reputation, damaged relationships, and the realization that they have only themselves to blame. Trust is one of the most powerful forces in human relationships. It's the invisible bond that holds everything together, from personal connections to professional success. Without trust, there's no foundation to build on, no partnership, no loyalty to success. Trust amplifies your influence because it creates a space where people feel safe, valued, and connected. When others trust you, they open doors, share opportunities, and align with your vision. Think about it, when someone trusts you, they're not just giving you their belief, they're giving you a piece of themselves. They're saying, I see your character, I believe in your integrity. I'm willing to stand by you. And that's an extraordinary gift, one that cannot be forced or faked. Trust is earned through consistent actions, through showing up, through being reliable even when it's difficult. When you operate from a place of trust, you radiate confidence and stability. People gravitate toward those they can rely on, those who stay true to their word. Trust doesn't just make others feel secure, it makes you more powerful because it removes barriers. It eliminates doubt, allowing energy and focus to flow freely toward goals and solutions. On the flip side, breaking trust is one of the fastest ways to lose influence. Once trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. People remember. They carry the pain of betrayal, and they hesitate to give that piece of themselves to you again. That's why trust is so powerful, it takes time to cultivate. But once established, it becomes a fortress strength that elevates everything around it. True power isn't about control or manipulation, it's about connection. Trust is the bridge that creates that connection. It's the reason people follow leaders, stand by loved ones, and invest in relationships. When trust is present, it magnifies potential. It creates a ripple effect, strengthening bonds and inspiring others to give their best. If you want to be truly powerful, focus on building trust. Every promise kept, every moment of honesty, every act of integrity reinforces it. Trust multiplies your influence and lays the groundwork for extraordinary outcomes. It's not just a quality, it's a force that transforms relationships, organizations, and lives. Karma is the natural law of cause and effect. It's not just a philosophical idea, it's a universal principle that reminds us everything we do creates energy that eventually comes back to us. When someone acts out of betrayal, dishonesty, or selfishness, They may think they gained an advantage in the moment, but they've actually set something much larger in motion, something they cannot control. Every action carries a consequence. When someone chooses to harm another, whether through betrayal, manipulation, or deceit, they plant a seed. That seed grows often unseen into the circumstances they will face later in life. They may escape the immediate fallout of their actions, but karma ensures that their choices will find them in ways they never expect. The beauty of karma is that it doesn't need anyone to enforce it. It's not about revenge or punishment, it's about balance. The universe has a way of evening the scales. People who spread negativity, harm, or deceit attract those same energies into their lives. They may face betrayal themselves, lose opportunities, or find that the trust they so easily discarded is no longer extended to them. On the other hand, those who act with kindness, integrity, and honesty create positive ripples. Even in the face of betrayal, when you choose to respond with strength and grace rather than vengeance, you align yourself with the flow of good karma. Your actions attract respect, loyalty, and opportunities that outweigh the pain caused by others. Karma teaches us accountability. No one is exempt from its reach. It holds us responsible for the energy we put into the world. Whether that energy is good or bad, it always comes full circle. This is why people who live with integrity, even in challenging times, find peace and fulfillment. They're not weighed down by guilt or fear of what's coming because they know they've acted in alignment with their values. Betrayers may convince themselves they've gotten away with something, but karma works on its own timeline. It often returns to them when they least expect it, teaching lessons they avoided facing before. It's a reminder that you can't escape the consequences of your actions. You reap what you sow, and the seeds you plant today will shape the harvest of your future. Betrayal is one of the most isolating actions a person can take. When someone betrays the trust of others, they don't just hurt those they've deceived, they also cut themselves off from the very connections that make life meaningful. Relationships are built on trust, and betrayal is the fastest way to destroy that foundation. Once trust is broken, it creates a divide that's difficult, often impossible to repair. When a person betrays, they might feel a temporary sense of power or gain, but the long-term cost is far greater than they realize. People talk and word spreads. The betrayal doesn't just affect their relationship with the person they hurt, it affects their reputation as a whole. Others begin to see them as unreliable, untrustworthy, and even dangerous to be close to. This leads to a gradual but certain withdrawal of support and connection from those around them. Betrayal doesn't just break trust, it breeds suspicion. Even those who haven't been directly harmed by the betrayer start to question their motives. They wonder if they could do this to someone else, what stops them from doing it to me? The result is that the betrayer finds themselves surrounded by walls instead of bridges. Relationships become shallow, interactions lack depth, and genuine bonds become harder to form. Over time, this isolation deepens. The betrayer may try to justify their side of their actions or find new relationships, but the shadow of their betrayal often follows them. People are hesitant to open up to someone with a history of disloyalty. The betrayer is left with fewer and fewer people to rely on, and the loneliness becomes a self-imposed prison. Ironically, many betray out of fear of vulnerability, fear of being hurt, fear of losing control. But in trying to protect themselves, they create exactly what they fear: disconnection and isolation. Betrayal might seem like an easy way out in the moment, but it leads to a life where trust is scarce and meaningful relationships are hard to come by. The pain of isolation isn't always immediate. At first, the betrayer might not even notice it. They might feel they've won or outsmarted someone. But as time passes and the consequences of their actions unfold, they start to feel the weight of being alone. They realize that by breaking trust, they didn't just lose others, they lost a part of themselves. And integrity is the foundation of lasting success and fulfillment. While shortcuts, deception, or betrayal might provide temporary gains, it is integrity that sustains relationships, reputations, and accomplishments over time. Acting with integrity means aligning your actions with your values, staying true to your word, and choosing honesty even when it's difficult. It requires strength, but it's that strength that builds unshakable trust and respect from others. People with integrity play the long game. They understand that momentary advantages gained through dishonesty or manipulation will eventually crumble. Integrity is about consistency, showing up authentically in every situation. This creates a track record that people can rely on, making you the kind of person others want to work with, support, and believe in. In a world where trust is rare and deception is often rewarded in the short term, integrity stands out. It sets you apart because it's a reflection of your character. People notice when you stick to your principles, especially in challenging situations. That consistency builds a reputation that is stronger than any temporary win. It's not just about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. When you live with integrity, you build self-respect and confidence, knowing that your success comes from a place of honesty. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but those who act with integrity can face them without fear. They don't have to worry about secrets coming to light or relationships falling apart because of dishonesty. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but those who act with integrity can face them without fear. They don't have to worry about secrets coming to light or relationships falling apart because of dishonesty. Integrity creates a solid foundation that withstands the test of time. It's the kind of strength that allows you to navigate adversity with dignity and emerge stronger on the other side. The long-term rewards of integrity go far beyond material success. It fosters deep, meaningful relationships because people trust and respect you. It opens doors to opportunities because your reputation precedes you. And perhaps most importantly, it brings peace of mind. When you act with integrity, you don't have to carry the weight of lies, guilt, or regret. Integrity isn't always the easiest path, but it's the most rewarding one. The respect, trust, and loyalty it earns can't be bought or faked. Those who choose integrity might face more obstacles in the short term, but they build a legacy that endures. In the end, it's integrity, not shortcuts or deceit, that defines true, lasting success. When someone betrays another, they don't just damage the relationship, they damage their own credibility, often beyond repair. Credibility is built on trust, consistency, and a track record of integrity. Betrayal destroys all of that in an instant. Once someone is seen as a betrayer, others naturally question their intentions and reliability. Trust once broken is almost impossible to rebuild, and this loss of credibility follows the betrayer wherever they go. People rely on credibility as a measure of character. It's how they decide who to partner with, confide in, and depend on. When someone betrays, they create a ripple effect of doubt. Those who once trusted them start to see them differently, and even those who weren't directly involved become wary. The question always lingers: if they betrayed someone else, what stops them from betraying me? This erosion of trust undermines their ability to form meaningful connections or gain support from others. In professional settings, credibility is everything. A single act of betrayal, whether it's breaking a promise, stealing an idea, or undermining a colleague, can derail a career. Employers, partners, and clients look for people they can depend on, and a reputation for betrayal makes someone a liability. Once credibility is lost, opportunities dry up. People are less willing to collaborate or take risks with someone who has proven themselves untrustworthy. Even in personal relationships, credibility is the glue that holds bonds together. Betrayal doesn't just create distance, it creates suspicion. Friends, family, and loved ones find it hard to rebuild trust, and the betrayer is left isolated, struggling to repair what they've broken. Apologies and explanations can only go so far. Actions speak louder than words, and betrayal speaks volumes. What betrayers fail to understand is that credibility isn't just about how others see them, it's about how they see themselves. Betrayal forces them to confront their own lack of integrity, creating an internal conflict that can't be ignored. The weight of knowing they've sacrificed their reputation for a fleeting gain often leads to regret, guilt, and even further destructive behavior as they struggle to cope. Losing credibility is a slow and painful unraveling. While the betrayer may think they've won in the short term, the long-term cost is immense. Without credibility, they lose influence, respect, and the ability to foster authentic relationships. Ultimately, betrayal doesn't just harm the betrayed, it cripples the betrayer's ability to succeed and thrive in every area of their life. Being betrayed is one of the most painful experiences a person can endure. It shakes the foundation of trust and leaves deep emotional scars. But within that pain lies a hidden opportunity, a chance to rise stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Betrayal has a way of forcing people to confront their own strength and redefine their boundaries, priorities, and self-worth. When someone is betrayed, they are often forced to reevaluate their relationships and the people they surround themselves with. This process can be painful, but it's also empowering. It provides clarity about who truly deserves a place in their life and teaches them to trust their instincts. Through this, they learn the value of self-reliance and the importance of building connections with those who align with their values. Betrayal is also a powerful teacher of resilience. In the face of such a profound loss of trust, the betrayed learn to adapt, heal, and move forward. They develop a deeper understanding of their own capacity to overcome adversity. Each step taken toward recovery builds inner strength and reinforces their ability to face future challenges with courage and determination. The pain of betrayal often sparks personal growth. It forces the betrayed to look inward, addressing areas where they may have been too trusting, ignored red flags, or compromised their own values for the sake of a relationship. While this self-reflection can be uncomfortable, it leads to greater self-awareness and a stronger sense of identity. They come out of the experience knowing themselves better and with a clearer vision of what they want and don't want in their lives. Furthermore, betrayal can fuel a drive to succeed and thrive. Many people who have been betrayed channel their pain into their passions, careers, or personal development. They use the betrayal as motivation to prove to themselves and sometimes to others that they will not be defined or diminished by someone else's actions. This determination often leads to breakthroughs and achievements they might not have pursued otherwise. The betrayed also gain a unique perspective on trust and relationships. They become more discerning about who they let into their lives, but they also develop a deeper appreciation for the people who prove themselves loyal and genuine. Betrayal teaches them the true value of authentic connections, making their future relationships stronger and more meaningful. Ultimately, betrayal doesn't break the betrayed, it refines them. It strips away illusions and reveals their inner strength, resilience, and capacity for growth. While the pain may linger, it becomes a testament to their ability to endure and emerge stronger. They learn that betrayal is not the end of their story, but the beginning of a new, more empowered chapter. Guilt is an inescapable consequence of betrayal. While betrayers may initially feel justified, indifferent, or even venturous, guilt gradually begins to surface. It's an emotional weight that lingers in the background, growing heavier over time. The human conscience is designed to recognize when something is wrong, and no matter how someone tries to rationalize their actions, they cannot fully escape the inner turmoil that betrayal causes. At first, the betrayer might suppress their guilt, convincing themselves that their actions were necessary or deserved. But guilt has a way of creeping in, often when they least expect it. It may come as a quiet voice during moments of solitude, a pang of discomfort when they see the person they hurt, or even as dreams and memories that remind them of their actions. The mind can only suppress the truth for so long before it starts to seep into their consciousness. Guilt, just an emotional response. It's a signal from within that something is out of alignment. Betrayal goes against the fundamental principles of trust and connection, and the betrayer instinctively knows this, even if they try to ignore it. They may find themselves haunted by thoughts of what they've done, replaying moments of their betrayal, and imagining how they could have acted differently. The weight of guilt often manifests physically and emotionally. It can lead to anxiety, restlessness, or even physical ailments as the stress of carrying their actions begins to take a toll. Betrayers may find it difficult to fully enjoy their successes or relationships because they know those victories are tainted by what they've done. Even in moments of joy, there's a shadow of regret that they can't shake. Guilt also isolates the betrayer. They may withdraw from the person they hurt or from others who remind them of their actions. The fear of being confronted or exposed pushes them further into their own mind, where the guilt continues to grow. Over time, this isolation can create a sense of loneliness and disconnection that they cannot escape, no matter how hard they try to fill the void. For some, guilt eventually becomes overwhelming, leading to a need for redemption or reconciliation. They may seek forgiveness, not just to repair the relationship, but to ease the burden on their own conscience. However, even with forgiveness, the memory of their betrayal and the damage it caused remains a part of them. Guilt is inevitable because betrayal fundamentally conflicts with the values of trust, integrity, and connection that are ingrained in us as human beings. No matter how much someone tries to deny or avoid it, guilt is always there, waiting to remind them of the cost of their actions. It's a powerful force that serves as both a consequence and a lesson, ensuring that betrayal is never truly forgotten, even by the one who committed it. True success is built on trust, because trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships and sustainable achievements. When people trust you, they are willing to invest in you, whether it's their time, resources, loyalty, or belief in your vision. Trust creates opportunities, fosters collaboration, and paves the way for growth. Without it, even the most promising endeavors eventually collapse under the weight of suspicion and doubt. Treachery, on the other hand, might seem like a shortcut to success. Someone may gain temporary advantages by deceiving others or exploiting trust. But these gains are always fleeting. Betrayal burns bridges, alienates allies, and tarnishes reputations. Once people realize they've been deceived, they withdraw their support and spread the word, leaving the betrayer isolated and unable to sustain their position. Success requires teamwork, loyalty, and shared effort. Trust is what holds these elements together. When people trust you, they're willing to go the extra mile for you. They'll stand by you in difficult times, support your goals, and help you overcome challenges. Trust breeds loyalty, and loyalty creates a network of people who are genuinely invested in your success. Treachery, however, creates the opposite effect. It fosters resentment, breaks bonds, and makes others hesitant to engage. People are far less likely to collaborate with or support someone who has betrayed them or others. Treachery might bring quick results, but it leaves a trail of broken relationships and missed opportunities. Those who rely on deceit to get ahead eventually find themselves without allies, struggling to maintain their position in a world where credibility is everything. Furthermore, trust enhances credibility, and credibility is a currency that opens doors. Whether it's in business, personal relationships, or leadership, a trustworthy person is seen as reliable, capable, and deserving of respect. This reputation allows them to build long-term success that isn't dependent on manipulation or exploitation. Treachery, by contrast, destroys credibility. Even a single act of betrayal can undo years of hard work and reliability, leaving a person to start over with a damaged reputation that's difficult to repair. Trust also brings peace of mind. Success built on trust allows you to move forward confidently, knowing that your achievements are solid and your relationships are genuine. There's no fear of being exposed or undone because you stayed true to your word and values. Treachery, however, breeds constant anxiety. Those who deceive must always look over their shoulders, fearing retribution, exposure, or the inevitable consequences of their actions. Ultimately, success rooted in trust is enduring because it's built on a foundation of integrity and mutual respect. It's the kind of success that inspires others, creates meaningful connections, and leaves a lasting legacy. Treachery, no matter how appealing it may seem in the moment, can never compete with the strength and sustainability of trust. Success that lasts is earned through honesty, consistency, and a commitment to doing what's right, even when it's difficult. How you respond to betrayal speaks volumes about who you are. It's easy to be graceful when things are going well, but it's in the face of betrayal that your true character is revealed. The pain of being betrayed can evoke anger, resentment, or a desire for revenge, but choosing how to respond in those moments defines your integrity and emotional strength. Your reaction isn't just about the person who hurt you, it's about you and how you choose to carry yourself, even in the most challenging circumstances. When faced with betrayal, some people lash out, seeking to hurt the betrayer in return. But this only continues the cycle of negativity. Responding with bitterness or vengeance keeps you tied to the betrayal, and it lowers you to the level of the person who betrayed you. It may feel satisfying in the short term, but it only prolongs your suffering and fuels the toxicity. It's a reaction driven by pain, and it traps you in a state of anger and resentment. On the other hand, those who respond with grace and strength are the ones who rise above the situation. They choose to move forward with dignity, understanding that the betrayal is a reflection of the other person's character, not their own. They don't let the actions of others dictate their behavior or self-worth. Instead, they focus on healing, learning, and growing from the experience. They understand that holding on to anger only keeps them stuck in the past, and they choose to take control of their future. How you respond also determines your ability to maintain your integrity. Betrayal can tempt you to act in ways that don't align with your values, but by staying true to yourself, you preserve your peace of mind. When you respond with strength and composure, you demonstrate to others and to yourself that your values and character are unshakable. Moreover, your response to betrayal can inspire others. People around you are watching how you handle adversity. When you respond with integrity, forgiveness, or resilience, you show them the power of rising above betrayal with grace. You set an example of how to maintain your composure and stand firm in your beliefs, even when it feels like the world is against you. In the end, betrayal doesn't define you the way you respond to it does. It's an opportunity to show the world that your strength, resilience, and integrity are stronger than any hurt or setback. It's a chance to prove that your character is unshaken, regardless of the challenges you face. By choosing to rise above betrayal with grace and wisdom, you create a narrative of empowerment, not victimhood. Your response shapes your future, your relationships, and the legacy you leave behind. And here's the kicker: betrayal doesn't just harm others, it haunts the betrayer. They carry the guilt, the regret, the knowledge that they took the easy way out instead of rising to the challenge of being loyal, honorable, and true. Meanwhile, you, the betrayed, you get to rise stronger. Because pain, as much as it hurts, is a gift. It forces you to grow. It teaches you who to trust, and more importantly, how to trust yourself. Every scar is a reminder that you survived. And let's talk about karma, my friends. You can't escape it. When you betray someone, that energy circles back. It might not happen today or tomorrow, but it's coming. The universe has a way of evening the score. So if you've been betrayed, I want you to remember this: their betrayal is their downfall, not yours. Their actions reflect their character, not yours. Your power lies in how you respond. Will you let bitterness and anger consume you? Or will you rise above it, stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before? Because the ultimate revenge is not getting even, it's getting better. So the next time betrayal knocks you down, remember it's their loss, not yours. You've got the strength to rise, and in the end, that's what makes you truly untouchable. Now go out there, stand tall, and own your story. The world is watching, and it's your time to shine.